welcome back to the Hello Goddess podcast. I am your host, Mandy Dea. I am a certified naturopath and a Reiki practitioner. If you don't know me or you don't know this podcast, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. This is a safe space. This podcast is all about wellness, spirituality, mindset. And I took a while to hop back into episodes, but I'm so happy to be here today. I'm going to record a solo episode for you today. I really want to take you on a journey because I wanted to explain a little bit why I chose naturopathy as a career and explain what naturopathy is, because I think a lot of people are not quite sure what it means and how it can really help you heal and live your healthiest life. And even in this episode, I'm going to share some things that you can start integrating right now so that you have a healthier life, a happier life. And that's what's important. Health is so important to our existence as human beings. So let's dive right in. I'm so excited. Okay, so as some of you know, I study naturopathy with a school in Montreal called Institut de Formation Naturopathique. Luckily, they offer the online course, so you can take your whole certification online, and they do it either in English or French. So if this is something that interests you, just throwing it out there. It was really, really interesting course. It took me 4 years to do it, and it really explains all the different facets of health, and they have their own approach called the natural health factors, which I will get into later on. But yeah, it's so interesting. So basically, naturopathy it was formed by combining the words nature and path, which makes complete sense because naturopathy is all about taking the path with your wellness that is as natural as possible. And I say this, I highlight that part because it is impossible to do everything naturally in this world, just simply not realistic, because there's so many things that are synthetic around us that contribute to our health or our lack of health. And so naturopathy is not about perfection, but about improving your health and bringing your body back into balance as much as you possibly can. And the premise, the whole principle behind naturopathy is that the body has a natural healing ability. That's really important to remember. When your body is in harmony, when your body is in the right state, the right environment, and you're feeding it the right things, it will naturally heal and go back into its natural state of health. And that's the whole point of naturopathy, is to support the body back into health with natural things. Okay, so that's basically what it is. I'm going to go a little bit deeper than that, but I wanted to just mention that as well. Okay, so another thing that's really interesting is that the naturopathy and Reiki have a lot in common. They're all about holistic health. So looking at the whole body, not just the symptoms. You're looking at the whole body, mind, body, and soul. Everything's connected. In Reiki, you can break down the word Reiki, which means universal, Rei. Ki means a life force. It's the same thing as chi. You might have heard chi or ki. Ki is the Japanese word for life force. Chi is, I think it's Chinese. Don't quote me on that. And then prana is more like in India. But basically it all means life force. And in naturopathy, we call it nervous energy. So it's all the same. We're talking about the energy that gives us life, the energy that gives us. So some people, even I think in modern medicine, they would talk a little bit more about vitality is another word for it. So the whole idea here is to bring back this vitality into your body so that your body can get back into balance. So again, naturopathy is a holistic approach that looks at the root cause of health issues instead of just treating the symptoms. So instead of asking yourself, how can I make this symptom that bothers me so much, whether that's a headache or a stomach ache, or, you might feel nausea or whatever it is, it might be a cluster of symptoms. instead of asking, how can I get these symptoms out? You're going to ask yourself, or with the help of a naturopath, why is my body currently experiencing this? And how can I support my body's natural healing power to bring my body back into its highest degree of health possible? And that's a very powerful mindset shift, to look at the root cause. You might have heard that the term root cause medicine. It's becoming more and more mainstream to talk about healing things at the root. There's not only naturopathy that practices this. I mean, Reiki, like I said, acupuncture, even things like functional medicine, integrative medicine, they talk about the root cause and healing things at the root, so that you're not just clipping the branches over and over again, just putting a band-aid over your symptoms. So let's talk a little bit more about the life force aspect of this. So nervous energy, life force, vitality, whatever you want to call it, is the energy that keeps all of your bodily functions running smoothly. So when you think about like the miracle of the human body, like things that are going on without our control, or I'm not sure, like we think that we have power over our bodies, but the body has its own intelligence. Like, you don't have to tell yourself to digest food. You don't have to tell yourself to breathe. You don't have to tell your heart to pump. All of these things are happening naturally through the intelligence of the life force. And if you support that energy, you support that life force, things will start to run smoothly again. So it helps your digestion. It supports circulation. It supports detoxification, immune response, emotional healing. All of these things are enhanced when we support the life force. When we experience chronic stress, poor nutrition, for example, lack of movement, toxic overload, those are things that are really, really common that I see with my patients. This energy becomes depleted. So it's kind of like there's a leak in your energy, and things are going to one space in your body, so the other spaces are lacking that nervous energy. So the body struggles to maintain balance. Again, the goal of naturopathy is to restore and preserve this energy so that the body can do what it's designed to do: heal and thrive. Not only survive, but thrive. I love thinking about that concept. Like, a lot of people are in survival mode. Like, how can I stop suffering? Which is so valid. Once you heal, you not only stop suffering, you start thriving in your life, which is so, so, so powerful. So let's talk about the main causes of disease. So breaking down, I like to break down words a lot because I think it gives you another understanding of what it means. If you break down the word dis-ease, it's the lack of ease. When you're healthy, when you're thriving in your life, there's this sense of ease to your body. You don't struggle to walk up the stairs. You don't struggle to deal with challenges that come up in your life. Things are easier. It doesn't mean that there's no problems at all. It just means that things are a lot easier. And so when you have this ease, you are not at ease. You're struggling with something that's really impairing your quality of life. So in naturopathy, we understand that disease is caused by one of these three things, or multiple. So the first one is toxic exposure. Things like environmental toxins, bacteria, viruses, anything that you're consuming that is not natural, any foods that you're consuming with pesticides, things like that. Nutritional deficiencies is the second factor that really, really affects health. And the third one is genetics. So toxic exposure, nutritional deficiencies, and genetics. The thing that's so empowering about this thing is that we have significant control over all of these. And even genetics, and I'll talk a little bit more about that after. But first of all, reducing your exposure to toxic things through clean food, clean water, clean air, and your lifestyle choices, and ensuring your body gets the right nutrients, that creates the ideal environment for healing. So when you come for a naturopathy session, we're going to take inventory of what's going on in your life. What kind of food are you exposing yourself to? If you're struggling with like hormonal issues, you might not even realize that you're exposing yourself to hormonal disruptors in your life. Like, for example, perfume is one of the big ones. We put perfume on our body. We don't realize that this disrupts our hormonal health. And so again, just bringing back things to the state of natural health is what we're aiming for here. And so ensuring your body gets the right nutrients is the other aspect as well. I think that what I learned, I remember if it was my naturopathy course or something else, but I learned that it doesn't matter how healthy you eat. It doesn't matter how well you eat. If you eat whole foods all the time, you are probably still nutrient deficient because of the way that agriculture is made today. So the soil is depleted of nutrients now. So even if you eat really, really clean and whole foods all the time, you probably still need vitamins and supplements. It's really interesting to think about that. But with my clients, I always take the time to see, like, where are you, and try to meet you where you are. I don't want you to feel pressure to change everything overnight. For example, if you don't eat vegetables at all, I'm not going to tell you to just start eating every vegetable in the world and, like really start small with where you are. It's so important to take things with baby steps, because otherwise you're not going to be consistent with it, and it's not going to be sustainable. So again, reducing toxic exposure, having the right nutrients, so eating whole foods and having the right supplementation. And the last thing is genetics. So a lot of people a long time ago, they would say like, oh, it's my genes, there's nothing I can do. I feel powerless about this because it's just in my family. There's nothing I can do about this. But lately, with the new science coming out about epigenetics, this science is showing us that our lifestyle and their environment that we are in can turn genes on or off. So that's super powerful to know, because this means we're not just victims of our DNA. We have the power to shape our health outcomes with the choices that we make every single day with our lifestyle. And when I say lifestyle, sometimes you just maybe think about just like what I'm eating or what I'm doing like for exercise. A lifestyle, it encapsulates so much more than that. And through naturopathy, like I was mentioning a bit earlier about the natural health factors, this is basically all of the things in your lifestyle that affects your health. And there are over 50 things you can do to tweak your health to support your body's healing ability. So let's talk about managing those natural health factors, your lifestyle. Let's talk about that. Some of the most important ones that we want to mention right now is, the first one is nutrition. Is one of the most powerful one. You can actually heal so much with what you choose to eat and choose not to eat. It's just such a powerful way to heal your body. So not just what you eat too, but how you digest and absorb those nutrients is super important. The second one is hydration. So clean, high quality water is essential for detoxification and cellular function. The other day I bought this Santa water filter, and it's so good. It takes out a lot of things that are in tap water right now, like lead and fluoride and all of these things that are not necessary, and it remineralizes it, and it becomes alkaline. So that's a really powerful way to hydrate your body in the proper way. So taking out the toxins and remineralizing it so that you get the proper hydration and the electrolytes that are needed to hydrate your body. The third one that I want to talk about is mental and emotional health. So we don't realize this, but our thoughts, our emotions, and our stress play a huge role in physical well-being. So I see this everywhere, like almost all chronic illness is made worse by stress. So if we're stressed, if we're always activated, or if we're always in fight or flight, or if we're always feeling unsafe, our body's natural ki or chi is mobilized into one thing, just keeping you alive. So things like digestion, things like all your organs, the functioning of your organs, take the back burner. They're not going to be functioning optimally because you are stressed out. And it's just a defense mechanism, like your body's trying to keep you safe by taking out the energy into the things that are going to contribute to your survival. But if you're not trying to fight some kind of danger in your life, there's no need to be stressed like that. And there's a lot of things you can do to reduce your stress and anxiety. And the next one is movement and exercise. So movement and exercise is not just about burning calories. It's not just about, looking a certain way. It's about your lymphatic system. It's about circulation. It's about your mental health. So there's so many benefits that come from exercise, and it doesn't have to be complicated. Like, I personally love doing weightlifting, but for another person that may sound like the worst thing in the world. Like, I would never want to do that. That's just not my thing. And that's okay. I heard this quote the other day. It said, the best type of exercise is the one that you can actually commit to. So just find something that you enjoy, like whether that is like dancing or going to for a walk in nature, or even like some people like swimming, or there's so many options out there. As long as you're moving your body in a way that you enjoy, that's the most important factor. Okay, the next one is rest and sleep. And all of these factors, all of these factors really are, I'm just doing an overview, but you can go so much deeper, especially if this is one of the factors that you're struggling with. There's so many different tweaks that you can do, and so many different approaches you can have through healing those aspects of your life. So with a naturopath, you can really sit down and try to figure it out. But rest and sleep, so healing happens when we sleep. Yet so many of us are sleep deprived. Things that are super important to notice: when you're going to bed, are you feeling wired? And when you wake up, are you feeling tired? And a lot of people will say yes to both, because this is something like some kind of epidemic right now. People are struggling with their sleep and circadian rhythms. And there's a lot of things you could do, but the first thing that's popping up in my head right now is at night, try to not look at your phone, or if you do, put your blockers, your blue light blockers, if you have them, the glasses, or even turn your, there's a setting on your phone, you can turn off the blue light in it so that it doesn't disrupt your circadian rhythm. But even better if you don't go on your phone at all in the evening. And then when you wake up in the morning, first thing you can do is go outside and get some sun. That just tells your body, okay, it's time to wake up. It's time to give me a healthy level of cortisol so that I can have the energy to take on this day. Okay, another one that's really important: breathing and oxygenation. Shallow breathing leads to stagnation in the body. So there's a whole practice called breath work, and some people are specialized in that. It's a very interesting concept, a very interesting practice where through the breath you can heal a lot. You can regulate your nervous system, you can ground your body, you can let go of certain emotions. But not only that, if you breathe shallow, it can lead to a lot of issues in your body, and the body needs oxygen. It's as simple as that. And a thing you can do is make sure you spend time outside, especially if you don't have any ways to open your windows in your house. Some people live in apartments where they can't open the windows all the time, depending on where they are. If you can even add plants to your home. Add a lot of plants that will create good oxygen and take the CO2 from the air. So yeah, it's really important to learn how to breathe properly too, to take deep breaths through the belly. And your breathing is so important. Next thing, sunlight and nature exposure. I kind of mentioned that a little bit earlier, but yeah, the body needs natural light for hormonal balance as well and mood regulation. So that's why, like, in the winter, some people have the winter blues, where they feel like, oh my god, like I feel so kind of down. The sky is gray. It's like and then spring arrives and you have a sunny day and you feel like so energized and happy, and everything just feels lighter. And it's so interesting how nature has such a powerful effect on us. Even the moon has this effect on us as well. And the last one I want to talk about is toxin load. So processed foods, chemicals, environmental toxins. This is such a huge subject. Like, I could go on and on about this, but basically there's so many toxic chemicals that we expose ourselves to, which create chronic illness. So things that we're noticing now that we didn't notice before, like things in our makeup, things in our perfume, our body, products like what you wash your hair with, what you wash your body with, things like cleaning products. So gradually, I encourage you to, when you finish a certain product, you don't have to change everything overnight. It's way too expensive. Like, if you run out of something, maybe try to buy a cleaner version of it. So a really cool app that I like is called Yuka, Yuka. And you can go, like, let's say you go shop in a pharmacy and you like this product, you scan it, and it will tell you if it's green, it means it's really clean and it's healthy and it's safe to use. And then if it's yellow, it's like in between. And then red is like, don't buy this. There's too many chemicals in this. It's just like, we don't realize because we think it's just negligible amounts of chemicals. But what happens is that it's just everywhere. So every little thing that you can do to not expose yourself to these chemicals is going to make a long-term effect. And that's really important to consider. So yeah, so those are a few of the health factors. Like I said, there's like over 50, but really, like, it's important to look at the main ones and to tweak and enhance all of these things so that we can shift back into balance. So there's no one-size-fits-all health approach. With naturopathy, it's really important to look at the person and meet them where they are and see where you can improve and where you can change certain things about your lifestyle so that you can heal naturally. So I want to finish by talking a little bit about my journey, why I chose to do this, because it's so funny when you look back and connect the dots and realize, like, all the things that brought you to where you are, and the journey isn't done. Like, if you're listening to this, you're still on the path. Like, as long as you're alive, you have a mission, you have a purpose, and your journey's not over. You're just getting started. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So I grew up as a dancer. So I love dance, and in high school I was really passionate about biology for whatever reason. I just love biology, and so I did really well in biology. And my teacher, suggested that I go into pre-med at university. So I started with health sciences. I started to study health sciences at university, and I didn't end up going into medicine because I didn't have the discipline to sit down and study, and I was quite young and not mature enough at the time. But through my own health struggles, so I had certain struggles with my health, I discovered holistic health and wellness practices like meditation, Reiki, and naturopathy. So these are things that are all holistic approaches. Meditation was my first one that I discovered, and through meditation I got to heal a lot of things that I wanted to heal. Reiki then came in, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so powerful. Like, I discovered how energy affects us and how energy medicine can really change your life. And then I was introduced to naturopathy through a Reiki practitioner, actually, that was studying naturopathy at the time. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, you can do all of these things that are just non-invasive, that are support your health and longevity, and there's nothing like negative about naturopathy. Like, there's no negative side effects at all. All of these things I can do naturally to support my health and well-being. So I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like, and it's kind of like there's an element of biology, which I love as well. And I love the aspects of being able to support people into health. Like, that's just so powerful. I was like, oh my goodness. And it's really important to notice that whether you go see a Reiki practitioner or a naturopath, they are not the healer. You are the healer. They're holding space for you to heal. That person is only channeling or being an educator for you to find your own healing and find your own answers. Really, there's no practitioner that can do it for you. You have to do the work yourself. And so it's such an empowering career, and I'm really, really happy for all of the things that led me to where we are now. And it's just one of those things where, you think you took the wrong path sometimes, and then you realize that it was actually the right path, and you thought a roadblock was the end of the world. Like, when I stopped going to university, I thought, oh my goodness, like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? But actually really am so happy that I chose this instead. And so naturopathy is all about giving more than just a quick fix. I want people to understand their health, feel empowered in their choices, and reconnect with their bodies in a deeper way. And so when you book a naturopathy session, basically what happens is that you fill in an intake form online, and you talk about everything that's bothering you: mind, body, soul, physical, mental, emotional, doesn't matter. And when we meet in person or on Zoom, if it's in person, even better, because we can have tea, some herbal tea together, and chit chat for an hour. We talk about everything that's bothering you, everything that you want to help to heal, everything that you want to improve in your health. And by the end, we create this personalized health plan for you that includes, like I said, things like food, nutrition tweaks that you could do to your current diet, and exercises that are tailored to you, lifestyle changes, certain things you can do, like certain types of meditation based on what you need, and even like a very powerful aspect of naturopathy is supplementation. So you can do natural supplementations like vitamins, minerals, and herbs. And we always check with the pharmacist if you're taking prescription medication to make sure that you don't have any interactions. And what's so cool too about naturopathy is that it's actually covered by health insurance. So it's really nice that they do offer that. If you have health insurance, it will be covered. So my services are covered by like Blue Cross and Sun Life and all these companies as well. So before I go, I want to give you some simple naturopathic tips that you can start today. So start your day with hydration. First thing in the morning, this is something you can do that's really easy. So maybe herbal tea. If you don't like that, you can do warm water with lemon, and that's just going to jumpstart your digestion. Second thing, prioritize whole unprocessed foods. So if you're like, oh my God, I think everything I eat is pretty much processed, maybe add like one vegetable a day or one fruit a day, or something that you enjoy. Do things gradually. The third thing you can do today is reduce toxin exposure. So swap chemical heavy products for natural alternatives. I did that. I talked about that a little bit earlier. Just like do things one at a time. Don't change everything overnight. It's not needed. It's not necessary. Take deep breaths and manage stress. So simple breath work can restore your energy. Things like box breathing. So breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, and do it like consistently, like let's say like 3 seconds or 4 seconds each, kind of like a box in your mind. And then we have get outside, soak up natural light, even if it's just 10 minutes of sunlight. That makes a huge difference to your health. So it's super important. Even like the best thing you can do is in the morning. First thing in the morning, get up, soak up natural light. And then the last thing I want to suggest is for you to listen to your body. This is probably the most important thing I can tell you right now. Symptoms are messages. Start tuning in. So super important. And that's why meditation is one of the most powerful practices you can do, because not only it reduces stress, it also helps you tune into yourself. we're so tuned out because we're all on our phones all the time. We're all running around trying to, get things, make a living, get everything done in one day in 24 hours, and there's not enough time. If you can meditate, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, to tune into your body, this is going to change your life, because you're going to start noticing things that you've been ignoring for a while. And don't let things get so severe that they start screaming at you with some kind of illness. It's never too late to reverse illness, but it's so much easier to reverse it when you start at the beginning. I hope this episode gave you a better understanding of what naturopathy is and why it's so powerful. It's such a powerful practice, and I think that even if you just have a few takeaways from this episode, I really hope that this helps you, because this is one of my biggest passions, to help women with their wellness, with their health. And so if you have any questions about this or want to learn more, you can always reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, or even my website. And if you enjoy this episode, I'd love it if you could leave a review. It really helps this podcast grow. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. Remember, your health is your greatest gift, your greatest wealth. You have the power to bring your body back into balance. Naturopathy is just there to guide the way. Stay beautiful, stay empowered, and embrace your inner goddess. Sending you all of the love, all of the light, and the Reiki energy. Bye.